Hello and welcome to Not Just Disney, and to the second of our series of videos in which we will be playing the full Canadian Premier League programme for 2020 using Logacta, the 1970s football simulation game played using dice. In our first video we looked at how the Canadian Premier League works, we introduced the 8 teams, and then we spoke about how we'd be using Logacta dice to play those matches. But of course, we don't know what matches they are at this stage because we haven't got a fixture list. So today we will be carrying out a fixture draw. A question you may be asking yourself right now though is, why can't we use the official fixture schedule? Well, that's simply because Logacta works best when all of the teams have played the same number of matches as each other. Now, we all know that in modern football there is often some difference between the number of games actually played by teams when they meet. It could be 1, 2, sometimes even 3 matches apart. And that does, for Logacta, really mess up the dice selection system, where we look at the number of points scored by teams in comparison with their opposition to determine which dice we're going to be rolling. And it's really unfair. If a team has played, say, 2 more matches than another, they should have more points on average, and that can give them an actually unfair and an unrealistic advantage in dice selection. So for this simulation, every team will be playing in every match set, so there will be 28 match sets. And now the official schedule doesn't fit in with that idea, so we've had to come up with our own list of matches. So there are 2 halves of the season because each team meets the other teams 4 times, twice at home, twice away. And so for the first half of the season, this is the schedule we shall be using. So the column on the left hand side are the home teams and the top row are the away teams. So you can see that on match set 1, the first series of 4 matches, teams A, B and C will be at home, and they will play teams E, F, G and H respectively. Now we'll work our way through there to match set 14. Each team will have played 14 matches and met every other team twice, once at home and once at away. And then we thought for the second half of the season we could just replicate the same series of matches, but we decided to try and make something a little bit more complete in a way. So if you look at the teams who will be meeting in match set 1, and then for the second half of the season they will be meeting in match set 28. So teams that start the season playing each other will end the season playing each other, and it'll be interesting to see how their performances compare throughout those 28 match sets. So if I take the first half match board and use the numbers there 1 to 4 to determine the first 4 match sets, this is what we get. As we will know, A, B, C and D will be home to E, F, G and H. After these first 4 matches have been played, we can then start using the Logacta dice selector to determine which die are rolled depending on the points difference between the teams. But for these first 4 matches it's quite straightforward. It's blue die for the home team, red die for the away team. So unfortunately we have no celebrities in an audience to introduce. We have no footballing past masters to carry out the draw. It will just be me. It went so well in the first video, I think we'll add a little bit of music to this. And so now, at last, it's draw time. So that music can mean just one thing. Yes, they were right, it is royalty-free music. But that's not what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking it is now time to eventually get the draw for our fixture grid for the Canadian Premier League 2020 underway. The left hand will be drawing the teams, and the first is green. That's York 9, who finished 3rd last season. There we go. Double tile, they will be in position C. Let's get the hands right. Brown, that is Valor FC. They will be in position G. Orange, the current champions, Forge FC. Position A. That's grey. That's the bottom club last season, HFX Wanderers. They are in position D. Red, that's Cavalry FC. They were winners of the league but runners up in the competition overall last time out. And they will be in position F. It's the new boys, Atletico Ottawa, making their debut in the 2020 season. Probably want to avoid E, that would mean a first match with the current champions, and they have, it's H. So just two more teams to draw. It's blue, it's the oldest team in the league, FC Edmonton. They are in position B. And the final team is pink, it's Pacific. And they will be playing the champions in their very first fixture, it's E. So that concludes the draw for the fixture grid, and we can now have a look at our first set of matches. Atletico have a away fixture for their first match in the CPL. They'll be playing HFX Wanderers, who remember finished bottom last season. But for their first home match, Atletico will be welcoming the champions, Forge FC. And in the third match set, it'll be the first of at least 4 meetings for the champions and runners-up from last season, as Forge FC welcome Cavalry. So I think that's just about it. We have our fixture grid completed. We know when teams will be meeting. So in our next video, we can play our first 4 match days of the Canadian Premier League 2020. All that remains for me to say is thank you for watching, and we look forward to you seeing us again very soon here on Not Just Disney. Bye for now.